What's up guys, Mrwhosetheboss here, and today we're comparing an $80 Galaxy S8 clone with the $800 real Galaxy S8 Plus. Let's get started. So let's start with the packaging, and as you've probably guessed, the $80 Galaxy S8 we're looking at is a clone phone. But that doesn't change the fact that the packaging is really convincing. They've essentially extrapolated what we saw on the Galaxy S7, whacked an 8 on there, updated the specifications on the back, and called it an S8 box, but it's convincing and pretty high quality. Having said that, with the Galaxy S8, Samsung has totally changed their packaging, so that kind of fell flat on its face. So taking a look at the back of the fake Galaxy S8, we've got a plastic back, clearly a significant drop in quality from the original. Having said that, it feels pretty high quality and surprisingly not too different from the Gorilla Glass 5 as felt on the original Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Don't forget the S8 Plus is also a significantly larger phone than the S8 and therefore the clone S8 too. So from the side you can tell with the fake Galaxy S8 they've really messed up here. You can see the curves do not go anywhere near all the way around the edges, and also it's a really thick phone. At just over 9mm, it's far thicker than the original Galaxy S8, even the S7, so looks like an absolute beast when compared to the sleek, sophisticated Galaxy S8. So when we actually move over, we can tell that thankfully we've still got that headphone jack there, but the finish and the chamfer around the sides has a much more metallic feel to it, with slightly more spaced out buttons because the body is bigger. The S8 Plus is actually lighter, slimmer, and also feels far nicer in the hands. It cups better, it really fits into your palm in a way that I'd say few smartphones have done in the past. Now the fake S8 has got a 720p screen on there, far from pushing the boundaries out. It's actually surprisingly bright and colourful, and to be honest, not bad for the price you pay for it. $80, you're getting a pretty decent screen, but you've got those ugly black bezels on the top and the bottom. Due to, I suppose, innovation limitations, they've not managed to make the infinity display that we see on the S8 and the S8 Plus, and it truly is something to look at. Anything you look on this screen, maybe it's just the novelty of it, maybe it'll wear off, but it honestly looks like the future. Now, we've actually got a resolution of 2960 by 1440, a bit of an odd one, and a brand new aspect ratio, which compared to the fake one, which has a standard 16:9, is something a little bit different. So in terms of software, you gotta give it to the fake phone. They've managed to entirely recreate TouchWiz extremely faithfully. Everything from the base wallpapers to the icons to the settings menu, everything feels very TouchWiz. Unfortunately, it doesn't change the fact that this is really based off the few things we knew from the Galaxy S8, and then the rest of it is the Galaxy S7 software thrown in there. It's impressive, but unfortunately it just doesn't compare to what we've got now on the Galaxy S8. Whilst I have to say the new home buttons, the new icons won't be to everyone's liking on the S8, you can't deny that it looks slick. We're also running Android 7.0, whereas we're only running Android 6.0 on the clone phone, and whilst the differences are starting to maybe level out over time, it's still nice to have the latest version. Clearly the fake is also missing out on the 3D touch press-in home button, as well as the iris scanner and the new fingerprint sensor on the back. Yes, it does technically have one, but that doesn't actually do anything. Like a lot of things with this smartphone, it's just for show. So then we've got the camera, and the fake one, whilst it shows on the specification sheet that it has a 12 megapixel sensor, it actually only has an 8. But it's actually not a bad camera. Again, for $80, I wouldn't mind buying one. On the other hand, we've got the S8 Plus, and yet while it does only have a 12 megapixel sensor, it doesn't sound like a huge leap forward. It can now, due to the power of the new CPU, take video at 4K at 60 frames per second, which is one of the first smartphones that is able to do that. In terms of benchmarks, the original with a MT6580 only scores 25,000 on Antutu, which is pretty paltry. But moving over to the S8 Plus, I managed to run a quick Antutu benchmark and we scored over 170,000. Out of every phone I've ever tested, that is the fastest, and my Google Pixel XL can barely score 130,000. Judging by the way that the OS ran and those benchmarks, I can't wait to see how this phone games. So there we go guys, that was my quick comparison. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you smash that subscribe button, that would really help me out. With that being said, I'm Mrwhosetheboss, and I'm signing out.